7:14 on this Wednesday morning. It's a morning for hope as all of us here at Breakfast Television appeal to you, our family that joins us each and every morning, to join us today in raising funds and support for the Canadian Women's Foundation. A very special guest, Chris Rout, joining us today. But Chris, this is going to be a tough conversation. You experienced something as a 20-year-old back in 1991 that could be any young man's worst nightmare.
I did. My mom, earlier on in my teens, met a man, which I thought was fantastic because I was always worried that as I got older, my mom was a single mom, raising two boys in a big city, eventually putting herself through school, doing all of the same challenges that most moms have. Later on in my teens, she met a man, which I was relieved, thinking that she wasn't going to be alone when I eventually left. The man came across as being super nice. As it progressed through the marriage, it started off with a little bit of jealousy. The jealousy slowly started to worsen, and then the beating started to happen. There were, unfortunately, many times I'd come downstairs in the middle of the night arguing, and I'd find my mom bleeding, sitting in the corner of a room. Not how anybody should see their mom ever. And that progressed, and like she started to go to shelters seeking help. Unfortunately, back then, it's not as prevalent nowadays as it was back then. Started seeking as much help as she could, but again, it's a single mom. She did leave. Unlike so many abused men, he talked her into going back, promising to get help, which, I mean, 99 times out of 100 they don't. The beatings began to worsen, and then eventually one day we had left the house, and
that was the day that your mother...
He beat her up and then strangled her.
And she paid for it with her life.
She did.
Chris, this is obviously not an easy conversation to have. We want to thank you for being here with us, but we know that your story is so important to the people that are watching right now. I guarantee you there are people that can connect with this because they're experiencing the exact same thing. When you look back to 1991 and the years leading up to the day that your mother paid for this with her life, is there anything that you personally wish would have been in place, resource-wise or otherwise, for your mother to take advantage of? Was there a step that you wish she could have taken that was not available to her at that time?
Support when she left. Making the decision for her to leave as a single mom, to go back out there and struggle as a single mom, feeling that she was on her own. I mean, I wish now, especially with Mother's Day coming up, that I could ask her what that was like. But I wish she had stronger support so that when she went out, she didn't have to go back to him. She didn't need to back. She would have known that, you know, there was help, that she didn't, that the lying, the talking, the I'm going to change, that wasn't necessarily true, that she had the emotional support and the physical support. Having that support probably would have prevented her from going back. I wish, like I'd mentioned, that there was just more there for her back then, and that probably, I think, would have made the circumstances a little different.
We talked to representatives earlier today from a women's emergency shelter in Sherwood Park called A Safe Place, and they told us that they'll help 700 people each year, but they will turn away 1,600 people. I suppose that reiterates the importance of a day like this.
Yeah, I mean, it's days like today are phenomenal. They really give a lot of hope to women. They help give, instead of the screams of help, into voices of hope, into voices of strength. They shouldn't, in an ideal world, and I've been involved as much as I can ever since then, we shouldn't even have to have days like this. We shouldn't have to have shelters. I've been to a shelter. They're not luxury resorts. They're not a comfortable for, I mean, they're as comfortable as it can be for kids, but they're not home. It's a shelter. I mean, mums and grandmas, they shouldn't have to be bleeding in a corner. They're supposed to be hugged and loved and spoiled by grandkids. They shouldn't have to be in shelters. They shouldn't have to be in hospitals. They shouldn't have to be any of that kind of stuff.
Chris, it takes great courage to talk about something so personal and so painful, I'm sure, and I want to thank you for joining us today.
Thank you
I know that your testimony here could save lives. That's why we're calling it a morning for hope here, and it's why Breakfast Television is very proud to be a part of it. The phone number, if you'd like to donate to the Canadian Women's Foundation, or if you would like to speak to a crisis counselor who has resources available, if you would like to escape a situation of domestic violence, call 1-855-795-0293 or visit morningforhope.ca. We'll be back right after this.